Well, hi you guys, and welcome back. I'm your host, Betty, and this is my podcast. I hope you guys enjoy, have been enjoying every episode that I've been putting out. Last week, I told you that my niece, hopefully was going to be born. It's my best friend's baby, and yeah, actually on Tuesday, she was born at around noon. And, for that, a shout out to Sarai and Jerry for having a beautiful daughter, Lucia. They're so happy. They're great parents. They're just, doing their thing. Obviously, right now they're probably sleep deprived, just like I was before. So I guess I was going to take this episode and talk about, my parenting adventures. Well, let's see. Being a parent, it's not easy. It's I would say it's one of the easiest jobs at a certain point when I guess the kids are young. And then it just gets real hard. Like, it just hits you like, God, when are these kids gonna stop growing? I tell my daughter all the time, and, she actually tells me, she's like, Mom, why can't I just stop growing? Why can't I just stay this age? And I was like, well, I wish you could, but no. I'm like, soon you're gonna be a teenager, you're gonna be hating me. It's gonna be a whole thing, and I'm not looking forward to it. So, yeah. She said, actually today, that she wants to stay 7 years old. She said that she ever could stay an age, that would be staying at 7 when she was in the 2nd grade, when she had this teacher, Ms. Marrufo, because she was not big in leaving homework and because she was the nicest. That's what she said. So it's really nice, to see how kids just grow, and sometimes they have a brain of their own, obviously, but oh my God, you have no idea. So when they're first babies, my friend's going through it right now. It's the first week, they're just born, they just came out, and you're like, I don't know what to do with this human being. Like, I barely know what to do with myself. How am I supposed to take care of this little baby? Well, apparently, I read an article the other day saying that mom's brains shrink. Well, more like the gray matter shrinks. Basically, it's just given space to all the complicated things to get out, and just the simple things to stay in, to be able to take care of a baby. Just have more patience and more concentration into what this little human being needs from us. And it's just like a whole thing. And then it also makes your brain foggy, and I definitely believe that, because I don't remember being this forgetful when I was younger. I mean, I'm not old, but I cannot imagine myself when I'm really old, not really, really old, but when I'm in my 50s, 60s, and I cannot remember anything, and then I can barely hear now. Oh my God, it's just one of those things that you're like, how do people get past this? I don't understand how all the other people were able to live with this. But, I guess it's some things that happen when you're a parent, and my daughter, she was never a kid that would get sick. She started going to daycare at 2 weeks old because I had to go to school, I had to go to work, and, it was just me and her. Her dad had to go to work, and it was just, we just keep going. School was always supposed to be number one, so the fact that I had a daughter was not going to stop me. And I was finishing my associate's degree back then. Actually, the year she was born, a few months later, I graduated from my associate's, and then I moved to go get my bachelor's, which took me 2 more years. And I don't know, it was so many things that happened to me, they just happen, but I've always said that I believe my daughter saved me. I mean, y'all know about my issues with depression and anxiety, and I'm sure that this did not start right now. I was always kind of like, a crier when I was a teenager, and when I was younger, I just had like so many thoughts of like things that I shouldn't be thinking. And I feel like at the point that she came into my life, it was just the perfect moment, because otherwise I don't know how long else I would have been, or I don't know what else I would have done. I don't know if I would have had the energy and just the thrive, like just the wanna thrive in me, like just for me. So I had to do it for her, and she was my thing. I gotta be better. You always have to be better for your kids. I learned since a young age, I always said I have to be better than my parents, whatever they are. I keep the positive and I take out the negative and I make it better, so that the rest of the generations, they come and they get some of that with them. And hopefully when we're older, they will be wiser. But it's just so hard to raise a child and do so many things. Like, I'm very sure that it is just hard to just like being a housewife, like being a stay-at-home mom. That's probably one of the hardest things, because you have to take care of your kids all day. When they're not in school, you have to feed them all day. Oh my God, do you have any idea how many times you have to feed your kids in a day? Oh my God, on Sunday, my daughter was like, she was up like at 8 and she's like, Mom, I'm hungry. And I'm like, okay, let's go make you something. And then she took 2 hours to eat, actually. And then, as she always does. And then after she was done, like 30 minutes later, I made her some waffles. And then she's like, yay, good, because I was hungry. And then as soon as she finished the waffles, like 30 minutes later, she's like, Mom, I'm hungry. I want a snack. And then I'm like, how many times have you eaten today, child? And then later she was hungry again. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I think she ate like 6 times, which is fine, growing child. I understand that. Sometimes I used to eat that many times when I was pregnant. But I'm like, how? All the moms in the world having all the bunch of kids, feed all their kids all these meals all day. Like, I was very, I guess I was just lucky that I had a daycare for her, and I was able to go to school, and I was able to do my job and everything. So it takes a little bit of, the pressure of being a parent. It doesn't take, a whole lot, but she also became very independent, and I'm very grateful for that. She is amazing. She's an independent person. She can do whatever she wants. She's just like amazing. She's my daughter, of course. So I'm very proud of her. And I don't know, just being a parent, it's just like one of those things where you're like, I want them to grow. When they're like little, you're like, oh my God, I want them to grow and be able to like do things. And like, I don't think I was one of those, because I was like, no, I don't want this child to be running around the house breaking everything. Which, early on I taught her that that's not what we do. And she was a very good child, actually. She never broke things. She was never throwing fits. I was always able to just talk things through with her. And still, and she is my best friend. She says that I am her best friend, and hopefully it'll stay like that. When she's a teenager, we have a good relationship. No matter what, I'm gonna be there for her. And it's just so many ups and downs and highs and lows, and just like things that happen. It's just you don't even see them coming. Like, they're babies, and then they're a year old, and they're walking, and then they start going to the bathroom, and then you have to go clean them. Oh my God, so many butts you have to clean. And then it's just, they get to the terrible 2s, and then the awful 3s, or whatever they're called. And they just keep growing and growing, and you see this amazing person that suddenly is just so sweet, and you're like, oh my God, stop growing. And then to just keep going and going and going. And then one day they're like 7 and telling you that, I don't know, they don't want to talk to you or whatever. Oh, just, it breaks your heart. So I definitely don't want her to be a teenager, but you know, it's one of those things, you just have to grow and keep going. But any parents out there, just, you know, shout out to everyone, because it's hard. Like, it is hard. It's very rewarding sometimes. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. I created this human being. And sometimes like, cannot believe I did this. How did this human being become this? When they're being stubborn and you're like, oh my God, she's just like me. Can't believe that. Ugh. And then you see yourself in them and you're like, I thought I wanted to avoid this. It's just like so many things. I don't know. I feel like being a parent is just like it's a whole thing, you know, and you're going to be a parent. Since you become a parent, you're just a parent for the rest of your life. It doesn't matter what age, it doesn't matter anything. Because you know, I'm in my 30s and I still need my mom sometimes. I don't, you know, actually like, I'm like, hey mom, I need you. But I do need her. And, you know, I wish she and I had a relationship like me and my daughter have. And, you know, things would have been just easier. But everybody needs their parents. Nobody wants to see their parents gone. You know, I wish I had my dad, but as you know, he passed, and so many things. But yeah, so I guess I could talk about my daughter all day long. She's amazing, but it's just so many things happening. Like, she's about to turn 10, and I just don't even know what to do. She's like, Mom, why? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And it's just an adventure, you know. But also, like, when they get to an age where you don't need to, like, bathe them anymore. Like, they can take a shower, they can wash their hair, they can put their clothes, they can do things on their own. That is when it gets cool, right before it gets bad, right? Because you're like, oh my God, they can do things on their own. And then, you know, they can go to the grandparents or whatever. If now you need to be an adult again and feel like you have adult friends and not just children things. I love my daughter. I love her with all my life. I don't regret her for 1 second. And I believe she's saving. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. But again, being a parent is tough. I know every parent out there is going to say the same thing. They love their kids. They would do anything for them. But oh my God, sometimes we all need a break. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoy my just ranting, loving about parenting and all that stuff. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. I love you, and goodbye.